What's up, everybody? It is Matt Modi with OddsJam, and for this video, we're doing something a little bit different on the OddsJam YouTube channel, which is pretty cool, pretty funny, pretty exciting. Me and Alex, the co-founder, are basically doing a sports betting competition. Every day, we get $500 to play with, to place bets, all going into this spreadsheet. Matt versus Alex, race to 10K in profit. If I win this, Alex said he'll give me a raise. I desperately need a raise. I need to feed my dogs. I have 2 dogs. So if you could put all of your will and your might behind me winning this competition, that would be great. I'm just kidding. OddsJam pays me great, but who wouldn't want a raise? Am I right? So yeah, it's just a race to 10K. If there's a day where one of us is traveling, busy, unable to do it, then we won't do it that specific day. But so we'll only be placing bets on the same day. So no one gets the advantage of having more days. But you have $500, like I said, to play with. Every bet that we place is going to be tracked in this spreadsheet, and every bet that we place is going to be placed live on the video itself. So every bet, if you're watching, if you could tail it if it's still available, and it's all going to be tracked here. The way it works, it's pretty easy. Let's say I do a $100 bet, minus 110 odds. That's about 90 in profit. Let's pretend the positive E was 5%. It's all tracked right here. So the expected profit, which I'll get into, is just based on the expected value percent multiplied by the wager size. The actual profit, so that way we can track the two versus the expected profit. The expected net profit we also want to track. We, of course, want to track the total amount bet, so we can just see and track the ROI. So that's how this is going to work. Like I said, every single bet that we place is going to be placed using the OddsJam platform, and it's going to be a positive expected value bet. So I'll explain what that means when I get into my actual bets. But before I get started, a couple things I want to note. Number one, which is very cool, OddsJam now has injury alerts. So if you want to sign up and find out injury alerts, you just put your email in here, click notify me, and you're good to go. It's very exciting. Unfortunately, I would have gotten notified that Joel Embiid broke his face yesterday. As a Sixers fan, that's very upsetting to me. But it's incredibly important to know that kind of information because the spread, the Heat went from 4.5 to 8-point favorites with news of Embiid breaking his face. Prior to that, odds were actually ripping towards the Sixers. So it's unfortunate. I'll post a link in the description of this video for the NBA injuries. But it's an awesome tool. I mean, you need, especially for the NBA, moving on injury news is it's the name of the game. You can get on some really favorable lines if you're able to move quickly. So like I said, I'll put a link in the description, so make sure to check that out. A couple other things to note before I get into it. Would appreciate if you could like and comment on the video. Mostly Matt's videos. So that way, again, I need everybody's energy behind me so I can get a raise. Would be pretty cool. But most importantly, if you could subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. We have a ton of content coming out. My best bets, Alex's best bets, some best bets for MLB, for NHL, for obviously the NBA playoffs. And we also have a bunch of betting advice, betting education, betting tutorial, betting 101, whatever you want to call it, a ton of content on the OddsJam YouTube channel. So make sure to click that plus button and subscribe. You can also hit me up at my Twitter handle below. It's very boring, at Modi_Matt. But let's get into it. So like I said, every bet I place is going to have positive expected value associated with it. If you're not a subscribed member of OddsJam, what you can do is just sign up for a 7-day free trial and then play along with the website as you are watching me place my bets. It's going to be much easier to learn, how to navigate the site if you're watching someone do it. So sign up for a 7-day free trial. You'll see another link in the description to sign up for a 7-day free trial. So I would recommend doing that. But for positive expected value betting tools, positive EV, and this is this is the bread and butter. So right now I have player props filled out. I'll get to player props later. The first thing I want to look at, let's see if there are any McSlams on the board that I really like. A McSlam is anything with market width 15 cents or below. That's always how I start my day. I want to see if there's something that I can McSlam. And the market width you calculate. So this OddsJam column you see here, this is going to be the OddsJam perfect line, and it's going to be pulled from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. It's going to be the most accurate lines, the sharpest bookmaker pricing these lines. So anywhere in which we're getting more favorable odds is going to have positive expected value associated with it. Not every positive EV bet on this page is going to be worth betting. That's why I wanted to talk about market width. Market width is essentially a way in which to just, for the OddsJam line to signify confidence in a line. So the lower the number, the better, the higher, the worse. So the way you calculate it for two minuses like this, you just add them together. The last two numbers, 5 plus 11 equals 16. So the market width for this one, 16 cents. For a plus and a minus, you just subtract the two. 127 minus 113 equals 14. And that's McSlam worthy. 14, like I said, 15 and below. McSlam worthy, load city. McSlam is a mat term. It's not an official betting term. It's just a fun way to talk about a bet that I really like. And I already see two here that I want to absolutely take to the back and McSlam. Number one, Mavs plus 6.5. Number two, Celtics Bucks under 218.5. So I'm going to lock in this Celtics Bucks one first because that's my favorite bet. Logic there being Celtics have the best defense in the entire NBA. The Bucks offense is already prone to struggling. It's even more prone to struggling when Chris Middleton is out. They also tend to start slow in series in game ones specifically. If you remember, game one between the Bulls and Bucks was like at 90s to 80s, something like that. Incredibly low scoring. So under 218, I think, is a really valuable bet. So anything that's a McSlam for me is going to be a $100 bet. So bet placed. This is going to be my first one. I'll add it to the tracker, but first I want to lock in this Mavericks one because this is also a really great bet. Mavericks plus 6.5. The Mavs were able to weather the storm getting with Luka missing the first 3 games and then losing the first game he came back. They just needed to get used to getting Luka back. Obviously, these games are being played not today, so it doesn't matter when the games are actually played. It's just whenever we place the bets. So Saturday is when I'm placing these, when this is recording. But anyways, place bet. All right, good to go. So I've placed 2 bets. So there's a couple things I need to do. Let's add them to this spreadsheet, and then I'll add them to the bet tracker. So the first thing I want to do, columns J through M are going to be totals. So these I'm not going to these are going to be auto updated. So the first bet I took was Bucks Celtics. It was in total bet. This was on win bet. Date settles was May 1st. $100 bet, minus 108 odds. And the expected value percentage right here was 2.37%. 2.37%. So you see the expected profit updated from there. Once the game actually settles, I'll put in the actual profit loss, and then my net profit and the ROI will start to update. The next bet I need to put in was Mavs plus 6.5. This was a spread bet. This was on MGM. This date is going to be May 2nd, another $100 bet. Odds here, minus 110. And the expected value for this one was 2.46%. 2.46%. Just gotta drag this down. So now my expected net profit is $4.83. Obviously, the bets are going to win and I'm going to get the profit, or they're going to lose and I'm going to get the loss. But over time, you'll see that eventually your profits will start to inch closer towards the expected value profit, because essentially the way this percent works is if this game was multiplied just 100 zillion million times, and you placed the same bet for this one. If I placed $100 bet and the game was simulated 100 million times, I would see to profit $2.37. So obviously, you'll get your winnings or you'll lose your stake, but that's kind of how the percentage works. And I don't see anything McSlam worthy here. So just these two at the end. There is this one, Mavs plus 4.5, but I don't want to double dip on the Mavs, and if they lose or don't cover, get screwed. So now what I need to do is add both of these bets to my bet tracker. So the bet tracker is a feature that OddsJam offers for completely free. It's an amazingly helpful tool. All the insights you see on my homepage here come from the bet tracker: total profit, pending bets, ROI, percent beat, closing line, overtime, by sportsbook, by sport. All this good stuff comes from the OddsJam bet tracker. And if you're betting from the positive EV page, it's very easy to use. You just click the plus button. You make sure that you're entering it on the correct side. I bet this $100 on BetMGM Mavs plus 6.5. Click save. For the next one, same thing. I bet the under, $100, minus 108 on WinBet. Looks good. Click save. Now if I look at my bet tracker, you'll see them be pending. The thing I like it'll tell you whether your bet is red or green in terms of beating the closing line or not. As you can see, I've had a horrible stretch of luck betting green ones. These are mostly all player props, which happens with player props. You see higher variance. But the goal is to maximize as often as you're beating the closing line, and that's how you can be profitable. So for these, I'll track how often these bets are actually beating the closing line or not. And obviously, I'll be tracking my profits here. So now that, let's refresh this one more time. There are no more McSlam-worthy bets. I wanted to highlight, there are two here that I really like. The team total of the Bucks, it's kind of doubling down, but I like the fact, I don't see the Bucks scoring 106.5. So maybe somehow this total goes over, but the Bucks under still hits. So I'm going to lock this one in on BetMGM. So this one, the tier is between 16 cents and 25 cents in market width. You see it's 17. So that is a $60 bet for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put 60 on the Bucks team total. This one's on BetMGM under 106.5. So I need how many points did the Bucks score? Under. So now I'm going to go in and lock in the Bucks team total under 106.5. This is a $60 bet. Place bet. Good to go there. So let me add this one. Bucks team total under. This was a total bet. Again, this was MGM. This is May 1st. This is a $60 bet. Minus 105. Expected value percent for this one was 2.59. 2.59. Just drag this one down. And now you see my expected net profit, $6. My total bet amount, $260. Obviously, the net profit and loss will be updated. So let me add this one to my bet tracker as well. $60. And good to go. So the last one is this Phoenix team total under 108.5. Fading the Suns is a little nerve-wracking. Let me click into this one. Maybe I can get it at a little bit of a better total. Let's see here. So 108.5 is plus 110. This is where the positive expected value is. But if I buy one extra point, I can get it at minus 105. While there's no line for that, I'm going to stick with the 108.5 at plus 110 odds. Trust the OddsJam calculator. Sometimes I like to see if there is more lines here, but there's not for this one. So another MGM bet. Like I said, fading the Suns can be a little scary, but the Mavericks have a very, very good defense. So I wouldn't be surprised. So it's under 108.5, plus 110. This was another $60 bet. Place bets. Now I just need to add it to my bet tracker. So this was Suns team total under. This is a total bet. Again, MGM. This one is May 2nd. This is a $60 bet plus 110. And the positive expected value percent for this one was 3.6. So now I just drag this down, and now everything has updated. So it looks like I have $180 to spend on player props or hockey or baseball. I'm going to stick with player props for now. So let me just add this one to my bet tracker, $60. So now if I look at my bet tracker, you see the closing line has now updated for the Celtics and the Bucks. Imagine these ones won't be far behind. All these pending bets I have placed live, so you can tail them if you want. So now, like I said, let's look at player props. So the way, right now I just have game props. Player props is very easy to filter. You just click the little gear, you click player props, you click save, you go to the betting tools, and now when you refresh it, you see a bunch of different player props. So let's get into these. So player props are a little different than game props. It takes a little more research into the play itself as opposed to just finding out if it's a McSlam. It also has a little bit of a wider market width that we're comfortable betting. So anything under 40 cents for a player prop is good to go. So 144 minus 107, 37 cents. So this one's good to go, but it doesn't immediately mean that I'm going to place the bet. So what I like to do is open these plays in a new tab and see exactly where the other books are pricing it at. So we see here with the Brook Lopez one, OddsJam Perfect Line prices it at plus 107. MGM and DraftKings have it pretty close to Caesars at plus 140. So to me, that doesn't sound like a true positive expected value play. This might be a situation in which the OddsJam Perfect Line might actually be pricing it incorrectly. What I'm looking for is an example in which the book that we're betting it on is a true outlier. So in this case, it's not. So this Brook Lopez one is not going to be a bet. So with player props, like I said, it takes a little more digging. It takes a little more research to find one that you really like. One way that I've noticed I've been able to find plays that are discrepancies a little bit quicker is you see here where it shows you the best line on the other side. So the plus 130 is MGM. The minus 137 is the OddsJam Perfect Line. Basically what we're looking for are plays that we know are discrepancies, such as this one. So looks like Brook Lopez under 0.5 assists. PointsBet prices it at minus 110. OddsJam Perfect Line prices it at minus 139. The other side of it, OddsJam prices at plus 105, as does Caesars and BetMGM. So PointsBet seems to be an outlier here. So let's click into the play and actually see. So it's Brook Lopez under 0.5 assists. And this seems like a good play. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in on PointsBet if it's still available. So PointsBet prices it at minus 110. Every other book has it in the minus 140 range. So sometimes I like to use the calculator. It tells me this one is a $40 bet. So I'm going to go ahead and put 40 on this one. For player props, I don't quite follow the McSlam $100, mini slam $60 rule. Instead, I look at the calculator itself. So it was Brook Lopez, perfect, and this was a $40 bet. So I'm putting $40 on this one. Place bet, confirmed. We'll see. And this one is good to go. Place bet, $40, Brook Lopez under 0.5 assists. So let me first add it to the spreadsheet. Brook Lopez, let's do Brook under 0.5. This was a assist prop. This was on PointsBet. This game is 5-1. This was 40. The odds were minus 110. And the expected value for this Brook Lopez one was 3.83%. 3.83. So just drag this down, and a little bit of a lower bet at $40. So that's why the EV is only 1.53 expected profit. So now let me just add this to my bet tracker. Click save and refresh it. And it looks like there's been some plays in the first half total of the Grizzlies versus Warriors that have popped up. Let's see if there's any that are McSlam worthy. So here's a close one. I just want to see if there's anything more. So this one actually is McSlam worthy. So, and it's on PointsBet, which I was just on. So I actually am going to take this one. I like this one too. The Warriors are high scoring. They have a good defense, but high scoring team, as are the Grizzlies. So I have 140 to play with. So this lines up perfectly. If I can lock this one in, I'll put 100 on it, and then I'll have 40 to play with for another player prop. So it was over play was over 110 minus 105. Perfect. Let's lock this in. And bet placed. Perfect. All right. So let me just add this one. So it was first half under. The total bet. This again was points bet. This one was on 5-1. This was a $100 bet minus 105. The expected value of this one was 3.9. There we go. And drag this down. So, okay. So now I have $40 to play with. Looks like it's going to be on a player prop. So let's see if there's one I like. And I found this one, Giannis under 50.5 points, rebounds, assists. I love this one for basketball reasons. I don't think there's going to be, it doesn't look like there's too much of a discrepancy between FanDuel and the other books. But with how good the Celtics defense is and with how much the Bucks generally tend to struggle in game ones, I'm very comfortable locking this Giannis one in. So I'm going to go to FanDuel. I'm going to lock in Giannis to go under 50.5 points, rebounds, assists. If I could find it, player point rate under 50.5 minus 108. So I believe I have 40 to play with. I do. So locked in, place bet, and we're good to go. So there are my bets for day one of this. It's going to be Giannis under. This is a PRA. This was on FanDuel. Again, 5-1. This was 40. The odds were minus 108. The expected value percent for this one was 5.12. And there we go. So 5.12 expected profit. So my expected net profit doesn't seem like a ton, but over time, obviously this number will increase. And of course, it's all going to depend on if the bets win or lose. So let me add this Giannis one to my bet tracker. This was 40, 500. So now everything is added to my bet tracker. Everything's good to go. So the CLV has been updated except for the last one that I just posted. And these are all my bets for day one. So I have 7 total for $500. Again, the race to 10K in profit between me and Alex. If I win, I get a raise. I want to treat my dogs right. So everybody root for me in this one. If you're tailing any of these bets, let me know. Hit me up at my Twitter handle below. Comment on the video. Of course, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Follow along this competition as we go. And that's all I got for you. So again, go to the OddsJam website, sign up for a free trial, play around with all the different tools that you saw me using. Learn how to become a profitable sports bettor, and then you will learn how you could profit all this money betting on sports. But like I said, for this video, that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.